guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a long-awaited book haul because I haven't done a book haul in a good amount of months, and I've definitely acquired a good few books in those months. And so I figured I would show you because I'm really excited about all of these books, and I got them from a lot of different places. I got them from Book Outlet, got them from Amazon, I got them from different bookstores around me. And yeah, I'm just super excited about all of these books, and so I wanted to share them with you. Also, I just want to mention, I know you can probably hear my fan, but where I live, it is about 100 degrees and I am sweating, and we don't want to see that. So I'm gonna have my fan on. I'm really sorry if you can hear it, but I'm just hot. I'm really hot. So anyways, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and get straight into the, I think, 20 books that I'm gonna show you from the past couple of months that I've acquired. So the first book is one that I have been so excited for ever since it was announced, and once it came out, I knew I had to get it, and then it came and I realized how big it was, and that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I have never read a Samantha Shannon book, but something about this one really drew me in. I think the cover is gorgeous, and I've heard so many people talking about it. So this book is about a queen and a queendom, and it is about a queen named Queen Sabrin, and she is unwed and she needs to have an heir for her queendom so that the legacy can obviously keep going and be passed, but she's not married, so she doesn't have an heir yet. And there's also a sorceress who is protecting the queendom and the different things surrounding it and kind of keeping her safe during this really hard time where she's kind of at this point in her life where she needs to figure out if she's gonna get married, if she's not, if she's gonna have an heir, if not, I don't know. And I think this also has dragons because there's a dragon on the cover, and that's pretty much all I needed to know, that it was a queendom and kind of like a fantasy. I don't know if it is one that has LGBTQIA plus rep in it, but I think it may. I'm not positive on that, but I just knew I was really excited to hear about a queendom and some dragons, and I've just been missing fantasy in my life. Like, I haven't read a good fantasy in a while. I don't know why that is. Summer just kind of puts me in the mood for contemporaries and lighter books, but for some reason this one I just know I need to pick up. The size is just huge and terrifies me a bit, but I'm still very excited to get to it and have heard so many wonderful things about it. So yeah, this one is really exciting and I hopefully can get to it this year. Not sure I will, but we're gonna keep our hopes high. Next is another book that I got from Amazon, and as you guys would have seen in some of my other videos, I've talked about Riley Sagar before. I talked about Final Girls. I didn't end up reading that yet, but that one just isn't intriguing me right now. But I heard about his newest book and I knew this was so up my alley because I've been in such a mystery thriller mood, and that is Lock Every Door by Riley Sagar. This book is supposed to be about a girl who becomes an apartment house sitter, and there are a lot of these rules that she has to follow. She can't talk to any of the other tenants. She cannot leave during the night. She has to stay there at all times, and strange things start happening where she wants to kind of investigate what's going on with all of these rich billionaire tenants. And I just have a really good feeling about this one. I've heard really great things about it, and I've been in such a thriller mood, as you guys would know. So this is one that I'm totally trying to get to, if not this month, next month, because it sounds so up my alley. It also says, move over Rosemary's Baby. Urban paranoia has a deliciously gothic new address, which Rosemary's Baby is probably my favorite horror movie ever. I love it so much. It is so interesting, and I could see how this may relate to this like kind of idea of this book, and it's also a gothic book, which I don't read a lot of, and I think that's a really cool take on a thriller. So super excited about this one. The next one is one I didn't hear too much buzz about, but I have heard people read it, such as Brittany from Brittany the Bibliophile, and she loved this book. She really liked it. I think she gave it 4 stars, but the synopsis of this really intrigued me and made me feel like it would be one of my favorites too, and that is The Kingdom by Jess Rothensberg. So this book is kind of like Westworld and kind of Disney World. Not really, I don't think it's light like Disney World, but it is about this place called the Kingdom, where it's like a fantasy amusement park, and people can go to ride on imaginary dragons or experience things that aren't real but are like fantastical. And it is about this girl who is a fantastic, and her name is Anna, and she is one of the beings. I think she's like a cyborg or a robot or something, who is there, and she meets this guy named Owen. She starts to develop feelings for Owen, which she didn't think she could because that kind of goes against all of her programming. And so that's one cool aspect that I'm really excited about, as well as Owen, he goes missing and is presumed dead, and Anna is getting the blame for it. So I think it's about the discovery of her feelings that aren't really supposed to be there, as well as this whole mystery aspect in this really cool park. And I just love Disney World and I love Westworld, so if you can kind of combine those two, I'm all in. So really excited about this one. Thanks Brittany for reading it and letting me know about it, because it just sounds like something I would really enjoy. Next is one that has gotten so much buzz recently that it has been like overwhelming, and I knew I gotta hop on the bandwagon because that's what I do, and that is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I read Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, I think last year or the year before, and I really didn't enjoy it. I didn't like her writing. I thought the story was too short, but I had high hopes for her to grow as an author, and I've heard great things about this. And for people who didn't like Enchantment of Ravens, they really liked Sorcery of Thorns, so I cannot wait to get to this. This is about a girl named Elizabeth who wants to be a warden of the library. And it's this really cool library in this fantasy world, and it holds a lot of grimoires. And one day, one of the most powerful grimoires is opened and unlocked, and she is blamed for doing that. So with a turn of events, she has to partner up with this guy named Nathaniel, who is a sorcerer, and they are sworn enemies. They don't like each other, but she starts to understand that maybe sorcerers aren't as bad as she thinks. And again, this just sounds like a haters to lovers fantasy, which, if you know me, haters to lovers romances are my all-time favorite. I just love banter, and I love like people growing and changing as people to learn to love someone else, and I think that's a really cool way to do it, especially in this fantasy novel, like with the libraries, because you know I love books. So cool libraries and a grimoire, and I don't know what else is to come with this, but I have high hopes. I'm really hopeful I'll like it. So this next book is also one that's getting a lot of buzz right now, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This book is about a girl named Harper who has cerebral palsy, and she is living in Washington DC and kind of just living her life, and one day she somehow gets transferred into a fantastical world where there is this prince named Prince Wren who has been living his 18th autumn season over and over and over until the curse is broken by someone who loves him, I guess kisses him, maybe, I don't know. It's definitely a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, but I think it's not going to follow exactly what we're expecting. And I've also heard that she's a really great protagonist and very feminist, and you know, power to ya. So I am really excited about this. I'm obsessed with Beauty and the Beast retellings. I know there are so many that come out, but I'm just like, how can you not love that? I think it's so cool. But yeah, I'm just, again, this has been talked about a lot, and the new book is coming out soon, I think, and people have just gotten arcs for it. So if that's already happening, I know I need to get onto this one. Next, I did a thing. I went onto Book Outlet and spent too much money, but that's what you do when you go on Book Outlet. You spend too much money and enjoy yourself. So the first thing that I got is the Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas Collector's Edition. I wasn't gonna get this when I saw it at like Target or any of my bookstores, just because I didn't think I needed it, but it was like more than half off. And I think this one also has like, yeah, it has like a mark on it, so they gave it to me for cheaper. And I know she is very polarizing. People love or hate her books, and you know, have problems with her too, and I agree. But I did really like this first book, and so I wanted to reread it, and I thought, what better way than a gorgeous hardcover of the first book. And I just love the look of this, and it wasn't that expensive. I also had a gift card, so that was really nice. But I thought I would just get this because it's cheap, and I like it as a hardback better than my paperbacks. I don't know, I don't like the paperbacks very much, but I thought this was cool, and I picked this one up. Next is a book from a series that I have been thoroughly enjoying over the past year. I ended up reading most of the books all kind of together, and I just never got around to the newest one, which is In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire. This is the fourth book? This is the fourth book in the Every Heart a Doorway series, and so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the Every Heart a Doorway series is basically about these kids who go to these fantastical magical worlds to escape their real lives, and their parents put them in this home to kind of get them help or get them better, and that's pretty much all I can say about it, but it is really good. I really like it, and they're very short, so it's like a really cool, I think it would be a really cool like mini series or TV show if they worked on that. I think it would be really cool. But again, this is the newest one in the series, and I just haven't gotten around to it, so I saw it on Book Outlet and I got it. So the next book that I have, I heard people mentioning, but I never really got a good synopsis from it, but I just saw it on Book Outlet and read the synopsis, and it sounded so good, and that is The 7 Deaths of Edwin Hardcastle. Every time I heard someone talk about this, I thought they were talking about the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and so I would get confused, but this is a whole different book. I think they came out around the same time too, which was kind of confusing. But this one is about a girl named Evelyn, and one special night, she ends up dying, as I think it said, as fireworks are overhead. Yes, it's a tragedy, but she doesn't die just once. There is a boy named Aiden, and he has to figure out what has happened to her, how she died, if someone killed her, what people were involved in her killing, and she keeps dying until he ends up solving the murder, and I think that is just really cool. So obviously there's going to be probably 7 chances for him to do it, but I don't know, I think that's really cool and kind of eerie and creepy, but exciting and fun. And also I forgot to mention in this that every single day that the day repeats and he has to figure out the murder, he wakes up in the body of a different guest, so he's going to kind of be doing some clue sleuthing, which I think is really cool because I've never read a book like that. I've just played Clue, and that's fun because you know what Clue is, but this sounds like Clue and sounds really fun, and I've heard really good things about it. So yeah, this sounds really good, and I am so excited. This is such a cool floppy paperback. I love these so much. It also has deckled edges, which I am a huge fan of, so I'm excited to put this on my shelf and stare at it until I end up getting to it. The next book is one that I think I heard Emma from Emma Books talk about, and it sounded definitely like something I wanted to read, and I saw it on Book Outlet, and I thought that was a perfect chance to do that, and that is What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard. This book is about a girl named Elizabeth who has an eating disorder and ends up becoming a girl in this program for other girls who have eating disorders, and other than that I don't know, but this sounds like it's going to analyze a lot of her life and go kind of into the mindset of her and talk about possibly her recovery, and it sounds very hard-hitting, but definitely something that I feel like is necessary to read. And I haven't read many books about eating disorders, so I'm intrigued to see how this one goes. It's also apparently a debut, and Emma raves about it, so that's really cool that this author, her first book, was so well received, especially by Emma, because I trust her opinion so much. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this one. It sounds hard-hitting for sure, but I'm really hopeful that it's going to do the content and material justice. So the next book that I have is Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. This book is supposed to be about a boy named Michael who is an atheist but goes to a really strict Catholic school, and he meets this girl named Lucy, and he assumes she may also be an atheist too, and he may not be alone, but she actually wants to become a priest, and I think it's about them talking about religion and going to school in this very Catholic school, and probably talking about their differences of opinions, and I think it also involves a lot of different characters, some who are Jewish, some who are gay, which I think is awesome and really cool to discuss that in a religious setting. I think that's very interesting, so I'm very curious about this one. I think also Emma recommended this one too, so I saw it and I knew I had to get it because, again, she really raved about this one. I think she's also reading the new Katie Henry right now, which also intrigues me, so I'm excited to pick up her debut novel and see how it goes for me. This next book I truly know nothing about, and that is The Austen Escape by Catherine Ray. This book just intrigued me because I love Jane Austen and I love her books, and so if it has something to do with that, I'll like it. But this is about a girl named Mary, and she is an engineer and she's just living her life. She likes order and she likes routine, so nothing really changes for her life. But she ends up getting contacted by an estranged best friend she had when she was a child, who offers to give her vacation at this home in England for 2 weeks, I think, and so she decides to jump for the chance just to kind of shake up her life a little bit. But somehow the childhood friend loses her memory when they get there and believes she lives in Jane Austen's bath. I don't know what that means at all, but it sounds interesting to me. It sounds like a fun little contemporary about Jane Austen and England, and I don't read a lot of books set in England, which is definitely a problem because I love England and I would love to read more there. So I'm excited about this one. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this, but I'll definitely try and read it somewhat soon so I can let you guys know what I think. So the next book that I have is The Education of Margot Sanchez. This one sounds really interesting. It's about a girl named Margot who ends up stealing her parents' credit card and goes on like a shopping spree and gets grounded. And so she has to work at her parents' deli to kind of make up for it. And there is a there's a beach party, so a summer party, with her school friends that she really wants to go to, so she's gonna do everything she can to get to that party. But this just sounds really fun and interesting. And I also think this is set in the Bronx, New York, and that just sounds really fun to me. It reminds me of like In the Heights. But it sounds like a really cool story, and I think it's gonna have a really cool family element to it as well, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I always saw something about this, but I never really knew what it was about, and I just love a girl who's just gonna do what she can to get what she wants. So next I have I think it's a graphic novel, I guess, which is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. I think that's how you say it. It's spelled wrong, but we'll go with it, by Jami Sun. This is supposed to be about an alien that is sent to Earth to study humans, but ends up feeling like they are more a human than an alien, and they relate more to humans and would rather be on Earth than be in space. And so I don't know much other than that. I think it's supposed to be really cute. It's written with such cute art in here and just like not very much writing, so I think I could get through this really quickly. And it just seems funny because it's got like misspelled words, and I'm just excited to see about a little alien that wishes he were a human, because I think that's really cute. So this next book is one I'm definitely going to get to probably at Christmas time or in December, and that is The Afterlife of Holly by Cynthia Hand. I have heard so many great things about this one. This is supposed to be about a girl named Holly. Wow, I forgot about that. About a girl named Holly who is visited by the 3 ghosts of Christmas past, and they tell her that she's being spoiled and selfish and that she needs to change her ways, and she doesn't. And so she ends up dying and becoming the next ghost of Christmas past. And so she's living this afterlife trying to come into terms with people about how they're being and if they don't change their lives. And this year she has decided everything's gonna change. She's going to fix what's been happening and probably try and like be revived or come back alive. I don't really know. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes, since it's a pretty cool retelling and I've never really heard anyone do this. So we've got this one. Definitely going to be checking this out in December, because I don't think I'm in the mood for it right now, but I think it'll be a great read when it's cold outside and it feels like Christmas, and yeah, it sounds good to me. So the last book that I have, I realized that I miscalculated how many books I had, but that's okay. This is the last one that I have for this haul, and that is American Street by E.B. Zaboy. I have heard so many good things about this. This has a National Book Award, and it just sounds so good. So this is a book about Fabiola, and she comes with her mother over from Haiti to America, but her mother ends up being detained by the US immigration offices, and so she has to kind of navigate her life through America with her loud cousins, or her cousins I guess that don't understand her, that she doesn't have a great relationship with, and she goes to school with them. I think they're in Detroit. Yeah, they're in Detroit, and they go to a school, and apparently she's trying to figure out how to live the like American school life, and also maybe has a romance, which sounds really exciting to me. I think this is really cool and really relevant to what is going on today, and so I've heard really great things about this. This is also her debut novel, which I am just always really happy when authors do so well with their very first book. I think that is so special, and so I'm really excited to get to this. I think it's got really interesting diversity and really exciting, and things that we need to read and understand and consume. So very excited about this one. Hopefully I'll get to it soon, because it's so relevant, you know? So that is going to be it for my book haul. I know it was long and I rambled a lot, but I wanted to give you guys the best synopses that I could, because I normally struggle with that, and I tried my best this time. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have read any of the books that I hauled today, which ones you think I should get to sooner than the other ones, and if you have any other things that you want to say, let me know. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one.